All right, I'm going to go ahead and get my biases put right out on the table here, right in the beginning, okay? I am friends with all the individuals involved in this debate, okay? I'm friends with TreadLogic, I'm friends with Exci, and I'm friends with Denims, okay? I'm probably closest friends with Denims because I've, like, actually hung out with her in real life, like, out in the flesh world, outside of the internet. JXC I've talked to a good amount, and I'd say I'm probably a little bit closer to JXC than I am to TreadLogic, just mostly because I haven't done much like off-stream engagement with JXC and TreadLogic outside of DMs and like a little bit of talking. But you know, I'm cool with everybody here. I don't have any biases against anyone. I guess you could say I'm most biased in favor of Denims, but I think that I'm capable of reviewing this debate with a fair amount of nuance and you know, lack of favoritism. I'm biased to Jay's content because Jay's content, or Jay because Jay's content is the one I watch the most. I can understand that, but here's the thing. Denims, all right, is a live streamer on Twitch, okay? She does, unironically, do that, like, I'm not sure how much I agree with it, but she does do that, like reacting to Gordon Ramsay type stuff. It's a little bit like the morality of that is questionable, mostly because she's a fairly well-off streamer as far as it goes. Not like Pokimane well-off or anything, but you know, she's all right, you know? So if she gets, your webcam is flashing, it's just because the lighting. I'd have to make it brighter in here to get that to stop. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, she, like, the problem is that, like, she's more well off than most streamers, and so you can make the argument that when she streams some copyrighted content and starts bringing that attention to Twitch, the problem of copyright on Twitch, she's like playing a very low stakes game for her, but it's a very high stakes game for the smaller streamers doing the same, or the smaller streamers who may be affected, who aren't doing anything wrong, who may be affected by future copyright changes Twitch makes. Do we really want to deal with a Twitch.tv that incorporates a similar copyright system to YouTube? How dog shit YouTube's copyright system is? The reason YouTube has the copyright dog shit system it has, or the dog shit copyright system it has, is because they're overcorrecting due to the pressure put on them by corporations that want their copyright upheld on the platform. It's a scary idea of that happening at Twitch, and the way that Denims does her content that way, you could suggest, means that she's contributing to these platforms wanting to clamp down on it. JXC takes an opposite position of hers. I am inclined to agree with JXC by default, despite me being closer friends with Denims. Those are my biases right on the table in the beginning. Let's hop right on into this debate. It's going to be a fun time. I like all three of them, so it's going to be fun.
I almost didn't finish it and get to the end part. Like, I thought, when I got to, like, the middle, I was like, this video just feels very, 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 like, spite driven.
So was there a question in there?
I don't think it's ever worth reading YouTube comments. You know what I mean? And making that like part of your video, I just disagree, I think.
When you say like you want someone to react, are you not just asking them to like react harder? What exactly are you looking for?
I just don't. I disagree with your opinion on this, but I don't.
What part of that do you disagree with? Because I feel like I just went through it all like step by step.
A lot of the time, the reason that they go and watch React streamers is because they don't want to have to do the effort of going and scrolling through YouTube and clicking on recommendeds. They want a streamer who, yeah, like, I mean, have you ever scrolled through YouTube for a while?
This is a bad argument on Denim's part. The number one and best argument for any streamer to make in favor of React content is the idea that they and their audience have formed a bond on the level of we're just on a level of we're just chilling here and you're here to watch me watch this. You wouldn't be watching this show otherwise unless it was me here watching it, because the parasocial relationship I've formed with my audience means that they're willing to watch me watch a TV show on Twitch. There is some level of extra content being added to the copyrighted content in question that is causing this audience to sit and watch, you know? Don't get me wrong, some people are certainly watching that stream because it's a free viewing of that show, or whatever that copyrighted content is, but at the same time, they're there watching it for a reason. The streamer being there is a thing for a reason. There is some value added to that. I watch XQC's reactions to Daily Dose of Internet. I do. I watch the episode of Daily Dose of Internet, and then I see in my recommended some like highlights channel upload XQC's reaction, I would watch it. It's because there's something that XQC as a streamer brings to that content that I find endearing, that amplifies that content, even if their reaction output might be sparse. That's an actual defensible position Denims could take, I think, against JXC's position.
And not found a single video that you want to watch.
Really?
How do I sound?
You sound crystal clear, Denims. You sound.
Oh.
Dude, the fact that Chud Logic has like this troll fucking meme like memorial to fucking Anthony Huber, Jussie Smollett, and Joseph Rosenbaum on his desktop, I love it, dude. The level of dry, sarcastic humor that Chud Logic engages in is very admirable. I do love it.
Oh,
Perfect.
you do too. Other than
Excellent.
other than the British accent.
Wait, what? Oh no. Well, listen, you're gonna have double trouble with the British accent thing.
Oh right, I forgot. I totally forgot the J. Oh yeah, I burned it from my brain actually.
No worries. So, what I'll do is I will add Exci to the call now. So let's do that, and then we'll get into it. Okay. I'm looking forward to this. It should be fun. Okay.
Also, I just want to be okay. Actually, I'll say it now. I just want to be clear. I'm not like trying to like go hard in the paint or anything. I'm just trying to have a simple conversation. Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
that's
cool.
fine.
Okay. Cool. I don't want this to take a different angle or anything like that.
Oh no, man, I'm here for just pure bad faith dunks. And
Okay,
then
good.
And then I'm gonna piss myself.
Oh no.
Okay. Great. Perfect.
I actually
No
got a 10
shit.
on that one.
Listen, I've just framed it as a debate because that's what these drama rapscallions are into, and you know.
Yeah, they're
all
like,
that
oh my
stuff.
God, soy, it's a debate. Oh my God, I need to
Well,
tune in.
maybe we'll annoy each other enough for that. Who
Yeah,
knows?
let's see.
Maybe.
It looks like we're going to have quite a friendly conversation, which is a bit of a change of pace for this channel, so that's good. But basically, there's been a lot of discourse recently about React content. Obviously, there was the DMCA scandal that happened recently, which I think brought some of this stuff back up. And Jay, you released a video which spoke about that and criticised some of the antics around that. And Denims, you mentioned to me that you had some sort of criticisms or disagreements. So, yeah, I guess for anyone that hasn't watched the video, we'll start off by throwing it over to you, Jay. And do you just want to maybe explain what the point of the video was and, you know, what your thoughts are about it?
So the positions in the video are essentially, first of all, I go over a load of like.
Denims doesn't make her bed before going live. She's just like me, for real. Okay, listen up. I have seen Denims' sleep schedule. It is insanely admirable. She goes to bed at like 9 p.m. and then wakes up at 6 a.m. and then immediately starts getting ready for streams for a few hours, or like 4 or 5 hours, gets stream done with for the day, and then she's free for the whole day. And I'm like, fuck. I cannot wait to be like that disciplined as far as my sleep schedule is concerned. God damn. Because like, she starts her stream at 6 a.m. Yeah. She goes live at 6 a.m. She wakes up at like 5. I was getting up around the time that she was ending her stream, whenever she would come and stay over here for a little while.
Like essentially Twitch memes that justify non-transformative React content. But essentially the position is that if you have React content where the reactor really isn't adding commentary of substance or you know, anything that...
Chud Logic's playing fucking Slither.io. You can see it. See the change skin icon for Slither.io right there? You can barely see it through the dark like shit there, but you can just kind of see it. He's playing Slither.
You could argue the viewer is there specifically to see. If they're in essence just their reaction content consists of playing the video that they're reacting to, and that's the main event. You know, that's the content they're there for. The kind of content where the chat get annoyed if you pause it because you're disrupting the actual thing they're watching. You know, that kind of content is in essence that's just reposting someone's work, and it's not cool to repost someone's work without making a meaningful change to it.
To be fair, my chat gets mad when I pause stuff, and then I say, "Big deal. I'm pausing it because listen." You could describe my content as reaction content. This is reaction content because I'm not debunking. Well, technically I am. I am giving my takes and arguments. But whenever I do responses to a video, I will turn it. I've turned an 8-minute video into an hour. No, that one Ben Shapiro segment was 5 minutes long. I believe it was 5 or 6 minutes long. The one where Ben Shapiro was talking to the kids. My video on it was over an hour long. I feel like I add a pretty substantial amount of commentary to my content. I feel like I could make a pretty good argument that my content is fair use, because it's either for review or criticism, most certainly, and I really pad it out. Like, the actual video I'm responding to, the vast majority of the time, is a minority in the percentage of the video's runtime.
If you don't have permission, and if you don't properly credit the person as well.
Okay, that's
Those are
interesting.
the broad positions.
And I actually was I'd say my stream yesterday was so tired, but I didn't watch all of it. But I just was interested to understand one more aspect to this. Do you have any like legal like position of like DMCA or like copyright on this, or is it just more so like your personal perspectives?
My entire thing was sort of just really more focused on just etiquette and
Okay.
what I think is cool rather than any appeal to what is legal and what isn't. Because ethics aren't based on the law,
Yeah.
etiquette's not based on the law. None of that. But
Okay, before we go, I just wanted to clarify. You go by any all pronouns, correct?
yeah.
Do you care or mind? Because when I was talking about this on stream, we tried not to do it because I didn't want to be like hurtful or anything like that. Do you care about people saying like dude or guy or anything like that? Like those are kind of gendered terms. I just want to know your opinion.
I'm sure. I'm just pretty sure on it, to be honest.
Okay,
By the way, Denims is, as the internet people would say, a good bean. Okay, she's pretty cool. She's not out here saying or doing anything I think is too harmful. She's asking the pronouns and everything. It's respectful. Okay, appreciate it.
cool. Thank you. Okay, great. So my primary, I guess, issues is that like I feel like the video
A good
was
noodle
very
even.
antagonistic, and it felt very spite based, and I was like very close to not finishing the video because I unironically thought, and your content has been recommended to me like a million times before, so I know your content has to be good.
Like, what if so what if like the clips from my stream? What if the views the views on my stream VOD got added to my segments? That would be really weird for YouTube to do because then you'd be either getting fake views essentially, like essentially YouTube's botting views for you that aren't actually going to make you any money because then YouTube's essentially lying to corporations about how many ads are being seen. So then CPM is going to look like it's going down like crazy. It's just not a good idea, I don't think.
I wanted to like not watch the rest of the video until I got to like the very last bit of it. Like I think the last like 15 minutes have like really, really, really good stuff. I think that the distinction that you make.
Oh, you mean like if the likes and the views counted towards their video and the ad revenue too? Oh, that's what you mean. Oh, I thought you meant like a change to YouTube where like if I uploaded a segment from my stream, then the views on my stream VOD would add to my segment views. Okay. That could be a decent like decision on how to deal with that kind of thing. You could make that argument. But then again, then you'd have to bring up the issue of like, okay, but then if somebody makes an actually like real reaction video like I do, how often could people just be claiming all of my views and all of my income on my reaction or my like response videos, Like what if every time I do a video on the quartering just press a button that means he gets all of my ad revenue on that video? Like people already do that and abuse that system all the time.
Between like
That kind of system,
filler content and true react content is like really well done. I think that you're talking about like the fact that like Hasan sometimes doesn't show people's like username or like their Twitter, their YouTube account and stuff. And I think that's fucked up because if you wanted to look into it, you're just gonna have to hope that like a mod will like post the link in chat because he's not gonna do it. Do you know what I mean? So I think that criticism is incredibly valid. I guess my point was first, before I go any further, I want to say like what was like your goal with making the video?
So basically, I mean, I did a stream looking at Hasan's arguments when he made them, right? So Hasan, he made this video. He not made this video. He went live, and when he saw my stream, he didn't watch the stream on his stream, but he went live and talked about like what he thought. And I just did a quick stream with some friends, going over like what I thought of his arguments and just reacting to them live. And basically, I've been intending to turn those arguments and get them formatted into just a video since that stream came out. And that's what this video was. I do want to say I find it interesting the interpretation of the video as spiteful, right? Because I knew that people were gonna see this and think drama baiting.
Hot take: Hasan is the dream of politics online. Hasan is the dream of online lefty politics. I'm sorry, it's true. The stands are annoying as fuck, and he's really overrated.
Because I've had a run-in with this community before, but people would just be like drama baiting, salty, whatever,
Cloud
right?
shark,
Yeah, sure. And what I wanted to, people can think what they want, but what I was trying to avoid seeming spiteful. I went through and I cut out certain jokes that I thought would be more likely to be interpreted as just mean-spirited rather than just like, hey, I'm having a joke. But I watched some of your coverage of my video, and I did find that you interpreted a lot more than I expected people to as just like a shot at Hasan.
Sure.
Like for example, when I was just talking about how there were two toilets next to each other, and I'm explaining like what is commentary. I'm talking about his commentary, and I'm going through it, and I say and I like point out the fact that he's like mixed up the word like toilet and bathroom. It's like you take that as like a shot at him when it's literally just I'm explaining to my audience like what he means because I don't think it's entirely clear from just the clip in its own out of context.
So I guess what I want to clarify is the video, like the beginning of the video, so hardcore primed me to responding negatively, such that I almost didn't finish it and get to the end part. Like I thought, when I got to like the middle, I was like, this video just feels very, very, very like spite driven. And I'll explain everything. And I plan to like maybe make something more detailed about this that's more salient, because I do feel bad because I went very aggressive on your video, more aggressive than I wanted to. And I wish that the last bit of it was in the front. So for example, and probably some of it, me reacting negatively, was because I felt like I was already primed at a certain point. So there's one section of the video where Hasan comes back to his chat, which, by the way, I just want to be clear on my opinion on like filler content and stuff. Like, I think filler content, like, if someone, you shouldn't do it. I know I do it as a React streamer. And I try to do it only when I do it with like Vox videos or Vice videos and stuff like that, because at least I'm not like directly ripping from one content creator and not like a whole team and stuff. And most of those videos have like 5 million views. I only get like 500 viewers. Like, I'm not even going to be taking like I'm taking maybe 50 views from the video. It's a lot harder to feel like, I guess, bad about that. And whereas like I would feel very bad about doing that to like a single content creator, which I know is like
I'm proud of Denims. I gave her I like helped her a lot. I gave her a lot of advice and helped her get like her stream stuff set up whenever she came over here. And I gave her a bunch of like streaming advice and helped her go from like, because when she'd messaged me initially and we first started to become friends, she hadn't been streaming for a while, and I helped her like get into streaming. I'm really happy to see that like she's really taken off, because she streamed before and didn't really get that many viewers, like back before the whole like Destiny drama and everything like that. She streamed before many of you would have probably known of her, and she was like a 25 viewer Andrea, right? And then she came back to streaming, and almost by default, just from like shout outs and collaborations and stuff, had 100 viewers, and you know, just grew from there. And I'm really proud of her.
an arbitrary metric for the record.
I mean, the thing is, it's all arbitrary, right? There's all these gray areas. There's no hard lines in this.
Yeah, I just think that like if you're one person and you spend all this time making one video, that one definitely feels like you're more stealing than like like Vox's whole team, right? And again, this is arbitrary. This is my opinion. Maybe I'm coping because I'm a React streamer and I want to have that content. Do you know what I mean? But I guess like the part that like really like you had like this part in the beginning where Hasan says that, they could be like disabled. Like the person who owns this home could be disabled. And you like make like a joke, and like maybe I read into the joke too much, but you make a joke like saying like what type of disability makes you have 2 toilets in your bathroom, right? But like in that specific example, I guess apparently what my chat told me was that his chat was saying like, oh, this like incel, whatever, like look at this piece of shit garbage, whatever, he's not cleaning his house. And he was trying to say like, you don't even know the context of this person. Like they could be physically disabled. And they could be not able to clean like the place or whatever, or like maybe they have ADHD, depression, and that's why it makes it hard. You know, and maybe it was like a complete like joke from you and stuff, but I'm just saying my opinion, I guess.
Sure. I mean, my whole thing on that was like that it wasn't like clear to me at all. I mean, what he was saying, and I was like, I mean, if that's what he's saying as well, because like I'm happy to believe that's what he meant, because that seems like more in character for him to be like making some ableist joke or whatever, right? And all I was saying is like, I did not understand what that meant. It kind of sounded yikesy to me, but like I don't know what he meant, so I'm not going to like claim that that's what he means.
Sure.
And then the next point is like, if he had elaborated more, then this would be both like more transformative React content, and it would have like cleared up any kind of confusion that could come out of it, right?
Sure. I'm explaining like, I guess like my perception of it, to be clear. Like I kind of was going in maybe I would admit that maybe I was going in a little biased against you, because the only thing I had heard about you was, A, you make really good videos, but also you got really upset about Hasan watching your content as filler content. And honestly, I would probably be upset too, maybe, as my content being used as filler content.
Jay's sweater is pretty dope. I think it's a Doctor Who reference. Exci really likes Doctor Who. They're pretty into it.
By maybe like a streamer I don't like personally care for or anything like that. Not to say that you don't like Hasan or anything like that. I'm not trying to make any.
I literally had no idea who Hasan was. I just saw the content. I was like, bro, what?
Hasan?
What the fuck is this? Like, what? This is just he's not doing anything. He's just playing my video. Which, as well, this is the first time I'd seen someone leave during a React stream, and that was crazy to me. Having seen like, having never seen that before. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hasan getting up. There's just the Hasan getting up while reacting to videos and like going to the other room, using the bathroom, or just walking away for like 10 minutes straight, leaving the video playing. That is just downright like shameless. There's no excuse for that. At that point, you might as well just be streaming the show on your channel without you there. Just full screen, just streaming the show at that point. Like, why not? That shit is ridiculous when Hasan does that. There's just no defending that.
No, I completely understand, and I'm very sympathetic to your position and stuff. Like, I understand why you had the position that you did. I'm like, sorry, my opinion on your video was, I do want to apologize because I did go really hard again because
Well,
the beginning felt.
I think I've just been watching a stream, and I think I've just got to the bit where you like. I think I just got to the bit.
Xander Hall, what I don't understand is how can you be worth millions of dollars and not commission a variety of Be Right Back screens to keep people entertained instead of just leaving his chair? Yeah. Granted, I don't have a Be Right Back screen either, but I don't get up and leave with a video playing. Usually I play a little bit of lo-fi, like copyright-free lo-fi, which you are allowed to play, and then I just leave my chair and get up and then come back and play the video if I have to. I rarely ever get up and use the bathroom or do something mid-video.
You go hard, and I've not like got past that yet. So
Yeah.
I'm coming.
And eventually later, I'm like saying like I'm really frustrated because I think you make such good points at the end, like really, really good ones. Because it's true, like you're not saying, Hasan, stop watching my content. In fact, in your comment, you specifically say, I'm not saying you have to stop watching my content. I'm saying don't like walk away from my content. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, as well. Like I do wish I made this clear in the video, right? Because I'm like, in terms of walking away, it's not like a problem on its own to me. Like if you've got like a stream, like if you'd walked away from my video on the stream that you did, because you're like talking the whole thing, you're like making it your own thing, right? You're making arguments, you're talking about.
Yeah, I gave it a background.
If you'd like walked away
Cherry,
for like 2, 3, 4 minutes,
I can't make it
and
any
let my video
darker.
play in that would be like, it's like, man, it's like maybe like it would be better if you didn't do that. But I wouldn't like think it was like particularly bad, because ultimately you've still like made the content your own, right? It would be just like a 4-minute gap in otherwise like content that I think is like very reasonable to make.
Yeah. No, I recognize that. I guess I want to be very clear. My only reason, I guess, for coming on or like to talk about this is because I think that I wish the video was made differently, because I would have really liked it like a lot. And I know this is coming off as maybe like cringe or whatever to like go on and be like, hey, by the way, your video is like shit. You should have made it different. You know, like like just to be clear, like I don't like my own content. Okay, like I don't even know how people make content and not want to like fucking end it all. Okay, because it is so incredibly.
It is. I can't watch my own content. There's a very few cases where I put out some videos that I think are worth rewatching. I think the horny police debate is one of them. I think my debate against Willie Mack show is definitely one of them. There's some debates I feel like where I just did so well that despite the fact that I don't even like hearing the sound of my own voice, I feel like it's just so... I feel pride rewatching it just because it's like, yeah, I did that. Hell yeah.
Cringe. I'm coming from the position as like,
I feel like we should do like a retroactive debate review on the horny police debate one of these days, you know? Find a way to recycle some older content, you know, in these dry times. Because I feel like a lot of you guys aren't aware of the horny police debate. Yeah, Lonnie, you'd like that? Oh my god, can I come on for it? Oh yeah, that'd be fun if you and I just did a whole stream. That would be a good Valentine's Day stream, Lonnie. What if on Valentine's Day you and I did a stream together where we reacted to that video together and did co-commentary together, and that was the whole stream? Wouldn't that be a fun Valentine's Day stream? The problem is it's a hard setup to do it like together, like in person. We got to set you up with like a microphone and stuff so we can like do it in a Discord call over the computer.
as someone who watched it and as someone who had strong reactions to the beginning and then finished it, I wish it was made differently, I guess. And I wanted to know if you felt that way after seeing people discuss it or not. And like, I know some people are gonna be like, oh, Hasan simp, whatever. I really don't care. If you think I'm a Hasan simp, you can think I'm a Hasan simp. I literally don't care. I disagreed with him on the Afghanistan take that he made. I've disagreed with him on bringing on Christian Walker. I disagree with him on using filler as content. I talk about it on my stream, and that's just my personal opinion. Okay.
I don't care who's a Hasan simp. Honestly,
I don't. Yeah, no. This is towards chat. Sorry.
So I've was there a question in there? I forgot.
Oh yeah, sorry. I said, do you feel?
Okay. Advice to both of them. When you do debates, it is very important to keep in mind that your debate opponent is probably going to end up rambling with about every statement they make, and they're going to end up proposing several points that you want to tackle. So it's very important that during a debate you have a notepad window open, and you're like constantly typing points they make, and then whenever they finish talking, you stop them and say, okay, you said a lot of stuff. Can we go through it point by point? And then you go through it point by point. It's a very important thing to do when you're debating. It is like a huge help. It's like something that you need to be doing if you're doing any debates. You need to be doing that.
Do you feel that the video
Oh yeah,
format
right.
had
Okay, yeah.
anything
Okay,
to
that
do.
was just a brain fart for me. Then I just completely forgot. Okay, so the basically, I mean, I always aim with my videos to make them accessible to the people who are going to disagree. That's always like something that's on my mind is okay, if someone's like going into this, if someone's going into this having got mad at the title, how can I explain this to them in a way that they will understand, that I can get through them, right? And I don't think well, from seeing like two negative reactions to the video now, I don't think I did a top-notch job at that, right? And it's all based on understanding the group that I am
Have
trying
a
to
good
talk
one,
to.
Slaughter
And there's
Coffee.
like a lot. I
You've
see
been
a
here
lot of
like
people
all
saying, like, "Oh, you
stream.
don't understand how Twitch works," and then
Like for
explain to me
4.5
something that I
hours,
do understand.
respect.
I just don't think like affects the argument at all.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
But like, I do think that I needed to be, I think yeah, focusing on like the leaving too much, focusing on certain stuff that is normal, and to people who are long-time Twitch viewers, and treating them essentially talking to a YouTube audience about it, saying who I know aren't going to be.
Okay, so like, you guys know the watch parties that I do in my Discord? Matter of fact, we're doing one right after this stream of Peacemaker. There's a reason why you guys come to those watch parties other than to watch the show. A lot of the time, when you guys come to these watch parties, it's something you've never seen before and don't really care about. You're there because it's me, or you're there because you want to hang out with me. There's a certain vibe that you get when you come into a React streamer's stream and you're not looking at it through a critical lens necessarily. Like when you're coming into it and you're thinking, oh, they're stealing content, you're going to have that perception regardless. But if you peel that back for a moment and just look at the content for what it is, you're going to find that with the chat, the community, and the streamer themselves and everything, there's sort of a vibe of like, hey, it's me chilling with a friend and we're watching something together. That offers some additional value to the content that I think deserves to exist. My favorite thing in the world to do is to show somebody a new show that they've never seen before that I love, or like a movie. Like showing someone who's never seen Lord of the Rings for the first time, Lord of the Rings is my favorite thing in the world. Holy fuck, I love doing it. Like I've seen Lord of the Rings a million times. I'll rewatch those movies over and over again if it means I'm seeing someone who's never seen those movies before see it for the first time and experience that thrill and that feeling for the very first time and discovering all the things and all the memes and all the things about it, right? Like being able to translate that to a form of online content, I feel like is admirable and worthy of some level of platforming. I don't think it's harmful, and I think it's fun, and I think there's a market for it. And all I want to do is see some sort of system put into place that allows that type of content to be made as ethically as possible, so that both parties are able to monetize it, like both fairly, however that may be. To be honest, I really like the watch parties you do because of how fun our reactions can get when we watch something and then we all chat in gen afterwards. Yeah, my favorite part of those watch parties isn't even just watching the show, but also seeing you guys react in the VC text chat and when you're talking in the voice text or in the voice chat. That's always like really fun for me when we do those watch parties, which we'll be doing one after this stream, so make sure to tune in for that.
Used to this, and I'm talking about it as if it's something like this. Holy shit! Whoa, check the shit out when there's going to be like stuff like that where I just wanted to make it more accessible to a Twitch audience, I guess. But
yeah, no, okay, cool. Then I think we agree on the positions because like I think you were talking about the.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I thought maybe there would be more pushback. Sorry, Ted. We hyped you up for no reason. Because I genuinely was almost like frustrated because I agreed with your positions. I did. Like I thought your positions were good. I think that like my problem was literally just that like, for example, like the YouTube comments section, like I don't think it's ever worth reading YouTube comments. You know what I mean? And making that like part of your video seriously as an example. And I don't know how seriously you were doing it. Like it's hard for me to exactly tell, but like if you're at the point like where you're typing up a negative YouTube comment towards someone else, you've like lost the plot and your opinion is worthless or that's just my opinion. If you spend time writing hate comments, you are not a sane person because any sane person would be going and like enjoying themselves and like.
I don't know. If you're somebody on the internet and you're offering like constructive criticism, like but Denims, like you can make the same argument about like the people in our chat, right? Like the people in my chat right now, instead of being here watching me criticize conservatives or whatever could be out doing something else. Have our chatters lost the plot because they're here doing this instead of something productive? Of course not. There's some enjoyment we derive from arguing with people we disagree with online. That doesn't necessarily mean we're all unhinged. And I do think that to a certain degree, unless you're literally fishing around for like one like comments down below, that looking at the top comments on a video can be pretty like, you know, representative of the overall opinion on said video. Same goes for the like to dislike ratio before that was implemented, barring, you know, circumstances such as like dislike bombing and botting and whatnot.
Living well. It's the same thing as people who like send
my
other
job
people
is complaining about shit.
Okay, that's fair. But yeah, like so, like that for me, like I would have loved to see like points, because like I think the comments bring out like certain points that are valid, that you like can dissect. But the hate comments were all like very poorly made arguments. You know what I mean? Like that was like
the whole point of bringing those up to me was that they were arguments I'd seen a lot, like not just in comments but in like chat and in like Hasan's chat in the stream and in places like that. I can't tell you ever I've seen these arguments, right? But because they seemed common, I wanted to address them. That was the whole point. I guess maybe I don't know. I don't really know if I addressed that being the reason or not. I think I mentioned it once that was like why.
You know what I want to learn about? I'm going to do this off stream. I got to delve into Chud Logic's crusade against Dr. K. Because I've always thought of Dr. K as like a shining beacon in the dark, tumultuous storm of the internet. And hearing that he has like an actual scandal against him is kind of disheartening. Because I always think like, God, he was one of the ones I always felt like was above all of this, you know? I fell down that rabbit hole the other night. It's always been, I've always been a bit sus on Dr. K. I will admit the idea of a licensed professional in that field going onto Twitch and basically doing like broadcasted psychological advice is a little bit sussy, because generally when you're a professional in a field like that, you're not supposed to give advice on that field to anybody who isn't a patient. It's generally considered bad practice to do that, in my understanding. I know that's at least the case for lawyers, and I know that generally doctors tend to act on that as more of like a rule of thumb than maybe even like a legal thing, but yeah. His advice is also just shitty. I've never really seen much of it, so I don't know if it is. I actually don't know if his advice is that shitty, but maybe it is. I don't know. I've always just thought of him as a pretty chill dude, but damn, it's sad if he's actually kind of a shitter. It sucks. I'll delve into the rabbit hole tonight after. Well, actually, no, we're doing watch party tonight, so we'll see. If I have time, I'll delve into the fucking rabbit hole tonight. Maybe tomorrow. Who knows?
I want to talk about them, but yeah, that
okay,
is.
This is like what I mean when I say like I think that for people who actually are like fucking tier 3 Hasan subs or whatever, I think those people will see the content and they're not going to give any like charitability when it feels like you're reading these comments and you're making the video personal instead of making it general, because it's maybe I'm reading into it or not understanding. Or
to be fair, the tier 3 Hasan subs are biased because they're definitely there to see Hasan, not the content that he's watching. Like, when you pull the opinion of people who give Hasan money, especially those who give Hasan as much money as you can possibly give on Twitch, like the tier 3 subtypes, of course they're there to watch that stream because Hasan's streaming it and not what he's watching. Why else would they be giving Hasan money? They'd just be paying for the subscription service that lets you watch whatever show he's watching and more.
Or whatever. But it seemed like at the end of the video, your position was that like you don't really care about Hasan watching or not watching your content. That's not what matters. What matters is that there is like a trend on Twitch that streamers will do this. Myself included. I am not like free of sin. And we should get people to stop doing this. Do you know what I mean? Was that your... Am I off?
I mean, pretty much. Just to hopefully get more React streamers to have sort of a mutual understanding and respect of the content they're reacting to be just generally more aware of the fact that it is someone else's content and that it's basically, you know, don't tick all of the no boxes, right? The not giving credit, the sitting there and just like not paying attention to the video or saying much and letting it play, right? That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Because I think that like with like such a general argument like that, and I think this is incredibly difficult to do when it's personal to you. But I felt like that there was like this general statement that you wanted to make about React streamers and how React streamers are a lot of times are using content as filler content, right? But then you made it like personal about you, and a lot of the video ended up being about your experience with Hasan. And I wonder how you feel about that in hindsight or whatever.
The thing is, the only issue I have with that is like optical, right? I know that it's really easy for like someone to come in and just be like, "Oh, you're
Okay.
mad about his."
If Denims accuses Exci of being spiteful at Hasan in that video, then I'd be interested to see if she would agree that iDubbbz was spiteful in his documentary he made on Sam Hyde. Because there's very, very similar parallels there, I think.
Hasan or whatever, or you just like hate Hasan, or whatever kind of interpretation.
Well, in that they're both figure YouTubers who did videos covering and or criticizing a figure who they've previously had bad blood with. Bad blood in which they were definitely the one in the right in it. Like definitely in the Exci Hasan drama, Exci was 100 million% in the right. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
The thing is, I when I was making the video, I wanted to include examples of other streamers that have done this and talk about them as well. And I realized that was just sort of bloating the video without adding any new points. So I ended up like cutting that. I ended up not going into any of the other React streamers I've seen do this because it was just like, hey, I'm repeating the same thing, but it's about someone else this time, right? And yeah, I do sort of. Well, it's not like regret because I'm still not sure how I would have done it, but I just don't like the way that can be interpreted optically. But it's like I don't really know what else I would do. It's just unfortunate, I guess.
Yeah, because I'm almost like frustrated because I would have loved to see people like watch the content and then be like, wow, these are really good points, and then React streamers stop doing this as much or something, or start trying to be better about it. Because like even the video, like by the time I finished the video, I was like, like I should really be more careful, and like I should try not to watch content on my stream as filler content. You know what I mean? So I think that it was, yeah, no, I mean, like, I think that it was, again, I'm so sorry, Chad, like, this is not, like, bloodthirsty.
No, it's okay.
We can tear into each other if you like, just for, like...
Well,
yeah,
I mean, I guess...
Do you want to, like, set up the teaser at the beginning?
iDubbbz came across as more confused than spite-driven, maybe if you just watch the Hyde version, but not iDubbbz version. I understand that. I don't feel like Exci came off as spite-driven either. It felt more to me like this is somebody Exci had never heard of and then all of a sudden just became aware of because he just was covering his video and just got up and wasn't even really like actually reacting to it, and then learned that this guy has a pattern of doing that and decided to make a video on him. Very similar to such as like Sam Hyde is this very well-known figure in the edgelord comedy community who iDubbbz had a negative interaction with in the past when Sam Hyde struck one of his videos. And iDubbbz then later went on to make a documentary trying to get to know Sam Hyde, and it kind of ended up sort of being a bit of a smear and it deserved to be, because, Sam Hyde deserved to have some kind of smear job done against him in some way, because it wasn't as much of a smear job as it was just a genuine criticism of the type of behavior that Sam Hyde engages in. And I think that in both cases, iDubbbz's video was a fair and measured good faith criticism of the behavior of Sam Hyde, despite the potential bias that that iDubbbz may have because of Sam Hyde's bad actions towards him in the past. In the same way, I think that Exci's video, despite their bad interaction with Hasan in the past, was not based in spite, but was instead based in a genuine interest in attacking something that they find to be morally, bad.
At the video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're a fucking complete piece of shit. No, just kidding. Don't put that in there, actually. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it's just
put it in there.
That's not my editor, okay? Listen, I'm gonna pull there. It's my editor's job card, okay? But one thing I'm interested in, because there's a few specific arguments. So like, one argument that Hasan makes, and I don't want you to answer for Hasan's points, but it's just interesting just to generate a bit of chat about it overly. But like this idea that someone streams for a long time in a day, therefore they're justified in using filler content. Like what are our thoughts on that sort of point?
It's stupid. It's dumb.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're justified to have like their downtime, right? And they can. There's loads of ways they can fill that, but I was like.
So I think that sorry, let me finish.
Well, it's just like there are loads of things that you could call filler that aren't necessarily dependent on someone else's work, right? Or even are dependent on someone else's work, but in a way that they're cool with. There's all these kinds of different things that you can do as filler, but I think you probably do need some downtime if you stream like 10 hours a day every day. But
oh yeah,
right. There's like countless ways to do that.
Yeah, I mean, if you've ever streamed even like a single time.
Yeah, that is a big one, right? Like when you stream, like for the streamers that do the 10, 12 hour a day streams, and it's like, now I gotta eat, Like, what am I gonna do while I eat? What am I gonna do while I take a break a little bit from a game because I've been playing it for 6 hours straight and I need to take a break? What am I gonna do in the interim? reacting to YouTube videos is a really good go-to as a streamer. It's a really good go-to. There's not much else you can do other than like just go off screen or just remain silent and just chill for a minute while you lose viewers. It's kind of demoralizing when this is your job and there's only so far the human body can go without a break, you know?
You know that you need downtime. Like, even if you only stream for
well, so like I can do like a 12-hour stream in one go, but that's because I don't do it every day, right? I just like I will be on it for like.
By the way, there's a reason why you have like regular breaks at work, right? You have multiple breaks in a day at work because even during like a 10-hour workday or even during an 8-hour workday, they give you a break. You know, because they recognize that you shouldn't be working that long. Most like full-time streamers stream for do work hours that would be illegal to be working at a normal job, because at a normal job you legally have to have a certain amount of time off, a certain amount of hours that like between your work hours, like amount of break times, amount of lunch time you have to have. Streamers don't follow those rules. Streamers literally work illegal amounts of work hours in order to grind to get on top and to keep like their revenue up, to keep their subs up, to keep their viewership up, to keep growing. It really is an endless struggle, and it's a source of endless stress. So I can understand that perspective.
12 hours in a row, but that's because most days
That is not Hasan's experience, though. Hasan does not have an issue with that.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I do, honestly. And this is what I mean when I said earlier about like, stop, like, don't care about YouTube comments because these people are like deranged. Like, people who are unironically saying like, well, Hasan needs to go to the bathroom. Do you want him to just die on stream? And it's like, no, obviously that's so silly. Like, you can't take these people seriously. Like,
Even Hasan said that once. So that Hasan reacted to a comment saying that he could like put up a BRB screen.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He was like, yeah, they don't want you to take breaks. I'm like, bro,
Yeah,
they're literally telling you to. They literally said like.
God, Hasan's such a dumb fuck sometimes. You guys can't deny it. He really is such a dumb fuck sometimes. His response to, hey, maybe you shouldn't get up from while playing a video and like for 20 minutes while not responding to it. His response is, oh, so I guess I just shouldn't take breaks then. No, motherfucker, just pause the video. Come on, dude. That is like a baby bitch response from Hasan. Can we all agree on that? Can we all agree that's a dog shit response from Hasan? Come on.
Recommending a way you could take a break.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, I already said this. This was a complaint that I had about Hasan. Like, the fact that he saw your content and instead of engaging with, like, the fact that you said, I don't mind my content being watched, I just don't want it to be watched as filler content. And his response was, okay, I'm not going to watch your content anymore. That's it. I'm not watching any more of this person's content. It's like, That's not what you wanted. That's not even close to what you wanted.
No, but
you know what I mean?
the thing is like I'm happy. I'm happy for him to make that decision if he admits that it's like his decision. But like he like explicitly said multiple times in that stream that he was doing that because it's what I wanted. It's like no, no, that's not what I said. Like, you know.
Yeah, no, that's just I fundamentally disagree, and I think it was kind of, I almost think it was like dismissive to do, because you're not like engaging with the argument. I guess what I'm trying to say is like the one opinion that I'm trying to say is like, I feel like anyone who is a Hasan fan would see your video
sweaters
and wouldn't make it to the end. And that's the frustrating thing.
I'll be honest with you, man. A lot of them don't seem to have made it to the beginning. From the tweets I'm getting.
That's probably true. Yeah, that's probably true. But
yeah, like I do
Hasan
think
fans are pretty
when I was
psychotic.
posting it, I was thinking like this is probably one of my less accessible videos to people who disagree with the point in the title. Or the point of the video. Like, this was definitely, I knew as I was posting it, more people were going to get annoyed about this than usual, of the people who disagree with me already.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. Yeah. I just think that, like, you should always try and make the best argument that you can. Obviously, that's subjective, and I'm sure that you know.
That's my goal.
Always, yeah. I mean, like I said, I make YouTube content, and I fucking hate my content. Like, I always want it to be better. I publish it, and I'm like, fucking, this is so garbage. So, like, I'm not, like, trying to, like, fucking get on this fucking moral high ground bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God,
okay,
Chudlogic's chat is so toxic.
There as well, is this kind of like meme of like react harder.
Why the fuck does Chudlogic have such a toxic chat? I guess he does have a very dry sense of humor, but like I feel like his chat is trying to imitate. It's same issue with Destiny's chat. His chat is trying to imitate his personality and his sense of humor, but they're just not pulling it off. Like they don't have the same like formula, the same like they can't do it the same way. There's overlap. Oh, there's overlap. Don't get me wrong, but they're doing a similar thing. They're trying to act like the streamer they're watching, but they aren't the streamer they're watching, so they're doing it poorly, and they're just not quite hitting the mark.
So this is kind of more so, I guess, initially aimed at you, Jay. But like, what does that mean? Because like DMCA, like DMCA has got like a standard that for transformative content is like a 4-step thing or something. But when you say like you want someone to react, are you not just asking them to like react harder? What exactly are you looking for?
So my standard is adding literally anything where it could be, and you know what? And I will totally admit this is subjective, and different people are going to assess it differently, and there's a gray area there.
The response to this for Exci is this, okay? This would be my response. Well, I say the way that we determine whether or not React content is acceptable in the ratio of transformative content being added onto the original content should be judged very similar to how here in the US, or I guess JXE would say over in the US, they judge the legality of material as to whether or not it is child porn. So in the US, the way it's done legally is you know it when you see it, right? Because, for example, I know this because of Law & Order SVU. It was on the TV when I was in Texas and I was watching that episode. Basically, you could have like a picture of a child in a swimsuit at the beach, sitting in a framed photo on a mantelpiece. That's just a dad who loves their daughter and has a picture of their daughter at the beach on the mantelpiece. There's nothing creepy about that, right? You have that picture in the porn folder of some weirdo on the internet, and now it's child porn. There's a reason why the law here in the United States recognizes that certain material can arbitrarily be illegal, illicit material, or something that's completely inert and fine, depending on the context of who has it and how it's being used. And I think in that same way, we can look at React content, and you just kind of know it when you see it. If there are a lot of egregious examples of just letting the content drone on for a long time without any input, if there really isn't any commentary other than like, wow, that's crazy, dude, or whatever, like no real like input or criticism or actual commentary being given, then I think that falls out of the territory. You know it when you see it. That would be my response for JXE. Okay, I hope JXE watches this because maybe this will like help them out in the future. Zan, I have a good tweet for you. What do you mean, Daffy559? What do you got for me, brother or sister? You don't have your pronouns on your account, so I don't know. Daffy, add your pronouns, motherfuckers, so I know. See, I can call Garfield bro because those are he/him pronouns.
But I definitely think there are pretty much unambiguous cases where you fail to do this and pretty much unambiguous cases where you completely obviously succeed to do this, right? But there's definitely a gray area. But my standard is for someone to be able to watch
Wingo,
the
add your
content
pronouns
for the
too.
reactor rather than the thing they're reacting to, right? The kind of thing where if you cut up their reaction, you could like watch it as its own thing, right? You don't. If you just removed most of the content, if you removed all of the content they're reacting to except exactly what you need to see to understand their reaction, that it would still be enjoyable. Stuff like that. Stuff where you're there for them, not just the original content that's playing. That's the standard for me.
Do you, Denims, look, listen, I'm not, just to be clear, I'm kind of playing devil's advocate. I'm not really like coming down super
Yeah,
hard on
no,
the
I
side,
got
right?
you.
But I just,
Okay.
So do you think you meet that standard yourself?
I think so. I mean, it's hard to tell because I've taken like polls in my community, and like the majority of people said that they literally wouldn't watch Hell's Kitchen unless I was streaming it, and it doesn't.
I believe that. I think that for Denims' fans and the people in her community that are willing to go out of their way to answer in a poll, I think they would not be watching Hell's Kitchen were it not for Denims streaming it. And they are watching it because they are there to watch Denims watch Hell's Kitchen, not watch Hell's Kitchen. And I think that is arguably defensibly morally enough to consider it a new form of content. On a moral level, you could make that argument. Not an illegal one, certainly not, but on a moral level, you could. However, that's just not like what's happening here. We're talking about like straight, like at least from what I've seen of like Denims' reactions to Gordo, usually it seems to be like not the most transformative. I think that you could make an argument that most people there watching are probably there watching because she's watching Hell's Kitchen, and if she was watching something else or streaming something else, they wouldn't be there. That's the thing though, chat. You have to remember, how many people are watching Denims because she's watching Hell's Kitchen, rather than watching Denims watch Hell's Kitchen because Denims is watching Hell's Kitchen, and they're there to watch her watch Hell's Kitchen. I have no doubt that compared to when she's watching some other thing or doing some other thing on her stream, when she does the things she seems to be known for now, which is the Gordon Ramsay React content, I have no doubt her viewership skyrockets because people want to watch her. They want to watch her watch Gordon Ramsay, not want to watch her do anything else, which I might argue they might be watching it for the wrong reasons then. I'm watching Hell's Kitchen with actual Jake because he's watching it. Yeah, I can't speak for everybody who watches it. That's the issue with this debate, is you can't speak for every viewer and why they're watching the content. You can only really judge the content for what it is on surface level and suggest how that content can be changed to be more ethical in regards to people's, intellectual property.
Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm reacting hard enough. I'm sure if you click on a random part in the video, I might not be saying anything, sure, whatever. And I might walk away from the screen, but it's about like the communal thing. It's why like fucking Toast started streaming Death Note. It's not about the actual show at a certain point. It's like, it's the same reason you watch shows with your friends. You want to watch it with other people, right? And actually, this is, I think, maybe my only disagreement that you had, Jay. So maybe we'll get a little bit of blood sports. I don't think people would watch. I don't think you're missing viewership because a streamer streams it, especially when it's like, no. I tried to do some polling to the best of my ability, obviously, because I only have like whatever small audience and I only have so many people that I can poll. So sample size is a little fucked. But I think when it comes to streamers on Twitch, a lot of people go to watch streamers on Twitch for their React content almost as a curator. So they don't actually want to go through YouTube themselves and watch a bunch of videos. And they probably never will go through YouTube and click a bunch of videos. They like going to Twitch because they like to have it as like, this streamer is curating fun content that I want to watch.
So like the YouTube algorithm, right? You know what that like the whole point of it is that it puts like YouTube videos on your homepage that you're going to enjoy. So what's the difference there? What is that Twitch streamer providing that the audience member couldn't get for themselves by literally just going to YouTube and clicking the videos that appeal to them?
So I agree with this opinion. I thought it was actually really funny because you were about to say like you were about to give the video games example and explain why, and I'd already said it on my stream. Because when a streamer is playing a video game, you still have the ability to play the game yourself, and video games are not necessarily always linear, and there's lots of stuff that you can do yourself. And then there's also the aspect of like skill. And so video games I think are great or whatever. But I think the more important part or whatever was you can't, there's no point of watching something a second time. You already watched it. Maybe like if you're watching it with some other people or something, or it's been a long time, you might rewatch the video. But once you watch the video one place, it's pretty unlikely that you're going to go back and watch it again.
Yeah.
So I understand this perspective. So I think that, and this is just my opinion, I think that like people who are watching content on Twitch, curated Twitch content on Twitch, aren't necessarily people that would be watching content on YouTube. I almost think if Hasan streamed on YouTube, I would agree with you.
Here's the thing. Twitch has very few algorithms set in place for discoverability. You cannot really grow on Twitch just by streaming realistically. Going on Twitch every day and going live for a few hours is not realistically a good way to grow. The only way you can reliably grow on Twitch is the same way that I grew on YouTube. And that's by uploading prepared content and specifically like archived videos that cover a specific topic that are clips from your stream meant to bring people from YouTube, where they have a better algorithm meant for discoverability when it comes to YouTube videos, to your live stream. Because Twitch doesn't have that algorithm in place. So I would argue most of Hasan's viewers probably come from YouTube, because they probably discovered some Hasanabi clips thing, or they discovered some Hasanabi video, or they discovered him through some YouTube algorithm bullshit or whatever. That's probably how most of his fans found him. That's how you grow on Twitch. Granted, I'm sure raids, hosts, collaborations and whatnot did their part as well, no doubt. And I'm sure Twitch probably put him on the front page a few times when he did, I'm sure he's done fundraisers. There's no doubt he's done charity streams, right? There's no way he hasn't done one charity stream. If he hasn't done one charity stream, there's just no excuse for that. That's insane. But, I would be willing to guess, he certainly has. It would be insane if he hasn't. He has to have. That would be, I wouldn't believe you if you told me he hadn't. I'd have to go check. Maybe being multi-platform is always good. Yeah, you almost always want to be multi-platform. I'm trying to be careful here because I'm criticizing partnered streamers. I try not to stream on Twitch if I'm doing anything I worry Twitch might get me for, right? So, for example, anything talking about partnered streamers can be iffy with Twitch because Twitch does not like streamers shit-talking other streamers, and you just want to be careful with that. There's also any stream that I might feature any footage or debate review of a Vosh debate, anything that includes Vosh or any other band streamer or figure. You just have to be careful because Twitch's TOS is in some ways more strict than YouTube's TOS, but in some other ways less strict than YouTube. So in some cases I want to stream on Twitch, in some cases I want to stream on YouTube. It just kind of depends on the situation. And some days you can stream on both.
Well, I mean,
Which is very
well, here's the
annoying.
thing, like, I got loads of people in my comments telling me that they were like fans of. I saw in Hasan's chat as well, people saying that they were both fans of me and Hasan. So it's got to be. And well, before yesterday, I was only on YouTube. That was, and you know, Hasan is primarily on Twitch, and I mean, these were people in his live chat as well, right? So there's definitely overlap, and it just really depends. If like someone is watching Hasan's stream and they just catch a video of mine on his stream before they catch it on my channel, then of course, you know, that's going to be they've watched it there rather than on my channel. That's just how that's going to go. But I'll happily say that, yeah, and I mean, this is what I said in the video as well, that it's like, I have no idea how much or how little that kind of thing actually does happen. It's just very clearly a potential outcome of someone else.
Oh God, the Doomer Media guy is a fan of Chud Logic. I see him in the chat there. Listen, the Doomer Media guy, I really wanted badly to believe that he was a guy who just put out like a banger constructive criticism video on Vosh that was like actually going to be something that would like genuinely propose some genuine criticisms of Vosh that could help him completely like overhaul his content and refresh everything. But it really did feel like a spite-driven, angry hit piece, and it was. And following, especially when you consider Doomer Media's behavior afterwards, following his Twitter behavior, I can't name any specifics. It's just generally I have memories of seeing tweets of his that made me think, wow, that's a really fucking dumb, spiteful thing to say. I don't know. I hope his heart's in the right place, is all I'll say. I don't know enough about him to know for sure, but all I'll say is I hope.
Playing content on stream.
Yeah. I mean, I understand. And it's still like, I'm just listing off a different experience or like example or whatever. Like, I think that the people who are watching YouTube like, it feels a lot easier for me to be upset about the Jinx situation. Like, even ignoring the fact that he's not reacting hard enough, whatever the meme is, or reacting at all or whatever. But the more frustrating thing has been
Hasan's React content sometimes is pretty damn comparable to a Jinx reaction. It depends on what it is. Like for example, Hasan's reaction to the Eamon Animations Punish Bernie thing is very exciting because he's in it and he's like screaming like, "Whoa! Holy shit! Oh my god! Whoa! How do you do this?" Like he's giving commentary, he's pausing it, he's like freaking out, he's yelling. It's exciting to watch his reaction to that. But then he's like, Vosh even covered that video? Yeah, I saw that, yeah. That was a really good video by Eamon Animations. He's one of the best YouTubers, I think, on the platform currently. One of my top 10s. Somewhere in my top 10. Yeah, like, I think, like, that's a good reaction from Hasan. But if he's just reacting to, like, not Gordon Ramsay. Does he do Gordon? I think he does yeah, he does Gordon Ramsay. Like, I think I've seen him do, like, a reaction to Gordon Ramsay, and it feels like he's silent for, like, 5 minutes at a time. And when he reacts, he's like, oh, God, dude, he fucked up. Like when someone fucks up some dish or whatever.
I guess that like I don't think people would have watched, like, it's like a Hell's Kitchen thing. Like, people literally wouldn't have watched it if their favorite streamer wasn't watching it. Do you know what I mean?
And like I said, there is an argument to be made about that. I said this in Texas to Destiny, and I talked to him about this very briefly about how what solution Twitch could implement to this problem that could serve both sides. And the idea I had was that we could have some sort of broadcasting license system for copyrighted content. Now, I don't know how you would deal with this for like live streamers reacting to other online creators' content that don't have like a copyright behind it. I think a good way to deal with it could be a monetization split or like a proper monetization like pairing. Like the money that maybe like all the money goes to it if it's not seen as like properly transformative. We'd have to figure out a proper solution to this problem. The issue is, I think a social solution is a better one. The reason why React content like Jinx's doesn't really exist on YouTube like it did back in the day is because all that content got dislike bombed and hate commented into the dust. You would just constantly be shit talked to the grave. if you uploaded that kind of content. This is actually one of the few cases where I feel like the community did a decent job at self-policing. You know, like, I don't think it's effective when it comes to politics, because I think there's too much of a 50-50 split in politics, as far as like some people having good politics and some people having horrendous opinions, for like communities to self-police political opinions. But when it comes to things like pedophilia or like just generally shitty behavior, it does usually feel like the internet's decent at policing itself, to the point where some figures are able to just get laughed off the internet, right? Like, I think Daddy05 just had that happen to him. Although I think the law got involved, but I don't know. I think there's some cases where it happens, but it's not reliable.
And I don't know how much this contributes, and it's really hard to measure, and there are no metrics for this.
If a React streamer wasn't like let's not say create like a React streamer. Like, let's say it's just literally just a streamer who's decided they're going to spend their day curating content from like other places for their audience to watch, and they're just sort of sitting in the corner, and they know that fully well they're not saying anything, that they're not providing a reaction. If the audience watching that stream was, if that streamer wasn't doing that, the audience watching the stream would be watching something else, and they would be probably watching something that, you know, there's a high chance that they would probably be watching something that was made by, like, was posted by the person who made it. Maybe not necessarily maybe the thing that's being reposted, but probably something where the actual benefit is going to the actual person who did the work.
Yeah, and I mean, I recognize that. This is like just because you had like a section of your video where you said like, it's possible that Hasan watching my content hurt me, and it's possible that like I've missed out on this or whatever. I just disagree.
Okay. Realistically, to make the argument that a large streamer watching your content on stream, even if they just get up and walk away, is harming you in any way, in regards to like actually tangibly harming, like, people from your fan base who otherwise would have watched your video are now watching it on Hasan's stream, is highly unlikely. Chances are a lot of Hasan viewers are discovering you and probably coming to your channel. Most certainly. Like, if we look at like the actual outcomes that are occurring, I would have no doubt, if following Hasan's reaction to JXC's video, if there was at least a small spike in sub growth. No doubt. And certainly not a downturn in viewership on that particular video. Absolutely no fucking way. The issue with this, I think, is a moral one. Does it reflect on Hasan or any streamer's character that they would take someone else's content and essentially rebroadcast it without adding anything of any type of tangible value to it, to transform it into something different than what it was before, to offer a reason for people to watch your version of that coverage rather than somebody else's or the original, God forbid, right?
Agree, I think. I don't think that you are. I don't think that, and maybe this is my opinion because I'm a React streamer or whatever, but I'm not sure. I can only go based on the polls that I took. It doesn't feel like people who watch content on Twitch necessarily would watch that content on YouTube.
I mean, I've just gone and like explained, like I feel like we've just gone and explained like exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we've just gone in circles a little bit. But I just don't. I disagree with your opinion on this. But I don't.
What part of that do you disagree with? Because I feel like I just went through it all like step by step.
Well, what part do you think that I am missing? That is.
I don't know. Well, because I just went through, like, I lined out the argument from like A to B to C to D, and then all you said was just like your opinion is the opposite. I don't know what part of my argument.
So for example, your opinion on like, well, I wouldn't have a problem if it was reposted, and then like there's a way for me to get traction from this, right?
I mean, that's
I know you can hear my cat meowing for Luna.
That's essentially, to me, that's more so like that's a courtesy thing, right? That's just it's something to keep in mind. It's etiquette, really.
Sure, but I already said I agree with this. Like,
you should want to leave immediately.
I agree. I think if you're using someone's content ever, you should do the bare minimum and just post the content, or at least have it visible on chat.
I'm very used to having a cat.
Anyone who liked the video can at least look.
Yeah, I mean, like, I liked your setup in the way that when you were reacting to a video, you didn't full screen it, so that the title on the YouTube channel that posted it was on screen the whole time it was playing. I think that's way better than.
Yeah, no, I agree. I already agree with these points. I just don't think that your points are related to my claim that these viewers aren't lost. Does that make
We left Luna at my mom's house while we were in Texas, and so she's gotten very, very spoiled because my mom fed her like 4 or 5 times a day. And so now Luna expects to be fed 4 or 5 times a day, which means she expects 4 or 5 cans, or more or less 3 cans of wet food per day, which is fucking insane. And also, Luna's one of those cats that like eats, and whenever they eat out of their food bowl and they push everything to the sides, they somehow can't see all the food in the sides of their food bowl, and so they think it's empty and need more. So you have to take a spoon and push the food back to the center, and then they eat it and they push it all to the side again. You have to push it back to the center. And she expects to be watched while she eats. I don't know why. I think she expects you to watch her back while she eats, but she expects you to stand there and look down at her and watch her while she eats. Otherwise, she'll literally follow you around the house meowing until you do. Yeah, she's a very, 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 very bratty cat. She is very bossy. She expects a lot from us.
Makes sense.
Well, I mean, all I'm saying is that I'm not saying that they definitely are. I'm just saying that's the potential that it is. Because, like, I know for a fact that I have overlap with Hasan. I've been seeing plenty of it in my comments. People saying, like, oh, I watch you both. And I saw plenty of it in Hasan's chat saying, oh, I watch you both. So if those people, and this isn't just necessarily, for me, right? This is any creator who gets to react, right? If there's overlap and they catch it on the streamer's channel first before they catch the actual YouTube video, then they're probably not going to watch the YouTube video, right?
Sure, but I already agreed with this.
But then, okay, then I'm confused because it sounded to me like you were saying the opposite after I finished that point. You were saying like that
to be clear,
you don't think it's going to take away views from something.
Let me re-explain. If someone watches content, I already said this, if someone watches content on someone else's stream, there is a very low likelihood that they're going to go watch it separately and give you like the view or the like or the comment.
Oh, right. Is that okay? Is that what you're saying?
So no, I already said that.
Stream,
yeah, I've already said that. But then I added that I think that those people who are watching it on stream were incredibly unlikely to even have clicked the video in the first place. Does that make sense? Because in my humble opinion, people who go and watch React streamers, a lot of the time, the reason that they go and watch React streamers is because they don't want to have to do the effort of going and scrolling through YouTube and clicking on recommendeds. They want a streamer who, yeah, like, I mean, have you ever scrolled through YouTube for a while and not found a single video that you...
Nah, that's a bad argument, Denims. I feel like I'm giving advice to both of them, you know? That's a bad argument for Denim's side. That would be more or less arguing that Hasan is just creating a platform for people to watch content without actually having to go support the creator. That would be a very easy refute for Exci. The actual argument to be made is just that there is a reason why they are there watching the streamer instead of watching the original content, and you need to point out reasons why. For example, the chat engagement. How high is Hasan's chat engagement? How many people are talking in chat as opposed to viewing it? A higher percentage of lurkers as opposed to active chatters would be a high a fair suggestion that maybe a lot of people there aren't watching it because they're there to watch Hasan watch Hell's Kitchen, but they're just there to watch Hell's Kitchen regardless of the guy in the corner talking every once in a while. Hell, they're glad that the guy doesn't talk very much.
You want to watch?
Really? I mean, the algorithm has been for 10 years. Like, this is my opinion and my disagreement. I think that from the people that I've talked to, the people who watch Twitch content are specifically there to watch it so they don't have to scroll through YouTube and find a video they like. What I don't understand about that, first of all, is literally just like, surely it's just as likely that there's a video you don't like played on the Twitch stream than it is there's a video you don't like on the YouTube homepage.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
What I don't understand about that, like, first of all, is just that surely it's going to be just as likely that the Twitch streamer plays a video you don't like as there's a video you don't like on the YouTube homepage. Because when you have the YouTube homepage, you can choose which one you watch.
Oh, yes, of course. Duh. But the streamer would make it watchable, right? Like, you cannot get me to watch someone, like, you could not get me to want to watch League of Legends gameplay or, like, the LCS or whatever. But if a streamer I like is playing it, I'm way more likely to watch them play it.
That's if they're adding commentary, though, right?
Oh, of course. But we already agreed with this. We already agreed that
so, like,
streamer...
That's the thing, though, because that's a double-edged sword argument, Denims, because you can suggest that, and that is true. You are more likely to watch League of Legends gameplay if your favorite streamer watches it, but how many of your favorite streamer's viewers would be watching, like, don't watch him when he's playing League as opposed to when he's doing something else, or specifically only watch him when he's playing League? That same analogy follows to React content, because Hasan's viewership does go down when he's not reacting. Politics probably gets him the highest viewership, But React content's probably a close second. Like, there's a reason why he gets more views on React content than on gaming. It's because less of his fans are there to see him play games than they are there to see him watch that content, or it's because more of those people are there than, you know, when he's playing games, because they just want to see a free viewing of Hell's Kitchen or whatever he's reacting to.
So I have no problem with like any reactor who like is adding commentary. Like that's what I support. That's the kind of thing that I really like and want to see more.
Yeah, sure. We already agree with this opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm saying that like a streamer, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that people who go to click on Twitch go specifically to want to have someone else pick videos for them and inform them about things, versus the average YouTube user who will pick out and choose what they want to watch. So I think that it's the second part. So there's two parts of watching a streamer. So there's part A that we already completely agree with, which is you watch a streamer react to content because they're adding something. And then there's a second part of watching a streamer. You're watching them because they're going to click videos for you, and you can just have them play in the background.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. That's like, yeah, you could just, there's an autoplay feature.
That's such a bad argument from Denims. I'm sorry. The idea that like streamers are content curators for you, it does not add a point in your column. It adds a point in JXC's column, if anything. It's just not a good argument. It's not like a better argument would be that some level of like parasocial relationship with the audience is why so many people are there to watch, and that they wouldn't be watching it otherwise, you know, on top of whatever transformative content they may add on top of it with their reaction.
On YouTube, man, like I don't I mean, okay, if someone wants to do that, then like I'm cool with like someone who watches that, but someone who's making that and like if someone's making the argument that that's the service they're providing, that's what they're adding, it's like, well, that's not adding anything to
I don't think you're adding a service. I don't think that's an added service or anything like that. I'm saying this is the opinion of viewers.
Oh, sure, yeah, I'm happy to accept that.
Okay, great. Also, people in chat keep talking about like, what about DMCA? What about DMCA? What about DMCA? We already talked about in the very beginning. We're not talking about the legality. We're talking about the morality.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I
agree.
Like way at the beginning.
Yeah, I agree. You know, obviously, I'm just not...
It's not even necessarily the morality, but whether or not we ought to judge one's moral character for the morality of the actions they're committing, right? So it's not just, is Hasan doing a bad thing? It is also, if the thing Hasan is doing is bad, should we condemn him for it in some way? That's an inevitable tacked on part of the argument at the end of the day.
Need to talk it out. But yeah, DMCA isn't a part of this because we haven't got a disagreement about DMCA. This isn't a legal argument. This is like more of a moral kind of perspective on it. Yeah, so it seems like what you're saying, Denims, is like just the act of the streamer cultivating videos via browsing by YouTube is bringing something to the viewer. And Jay, you seem a bit skeptical about the idea that is really meaningfully doing anything. So maybe
I don't think. I mean, like, I'm happy to accept there are viewers who like that, but fundamentally, you could replace that streamer with an autoplay feature on YouTube, which already exists on YouTube. You know, there's
good response from
by
JXC.
Curating content or whatever, you're adding anything, anything. Well, that's the end of the sentence, I guess. You're doing.
Yeah, sure. I don't think. But just to be clear, I'm not saying I think something is being added. I'm saying that viewers feel that they like this feature.
Well, yeah, I'm happy to accept that people like that. I just
and that's the reason
why
why
the Transformers movies.
Yeah. Wait. Sorry.
People like the Transformers movies, the Michael Bay ones that are dog shit.
That are shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People like
a lot of bad
stuff.
things. Yeah. people that love garbage, dude.
One thing I want to throw out, this is more towards you, really, Jay. But like, there's people in chat making this argument. I just want to put it to you. What about the concept that just having the chat there in itself is adding something to the content that isn't on the YouTube?
I unironically seek out Twitch streams broadcasting shows and movies that I like, even though they're breaking DMCA, because I like talking in the live chat. I went and I found a live stream recently that was literally just restreaming Lord of the Rings constantly, and it managed to stay up for a week somehow. I discovered it through an internet comment etiquette video, and that video had like clearly been, like, that clip that he got of that stream was clearly like a week old when the video came out, and I'd seen the video a few days after it came out, so I searched up the stream like, no way it's still up, and it still was. So I sat and I watched like the whole end half of Lord of the Rings Return of the King with this live chat of like 500 people, and being there with that live chat watching the movie, everyone like sort of like when a streamer does something and the chat spams poggers, they were doing that along with the movie. When Aragorn cuts off an orc's head, everyone goes poggers, or when Legolas shoots an orc in the head, everyone's like headshot. Or fucking beamed, or it's really fun. It adds some level of content. I think there is an argument to be made there.
YouTube video.
I mean, it isn't on the YouTube video. Like it's. I mean, that is true. That is definitely true. Something is being added, but ultimately, like the video has the comment section as well, and also a lot of YouTube videos do have live chats. You can. Any video that was premiered, you can click show chat reply. But yeah, fundamentally, it's just a thing that I don't think is meaningful enough. It's literally something that you can ignore so easily. Because what you've got there is what you've got there would be a full repost of the video with something maybe interesting next to it, right? So why not? You don't need to. Well, you need to repost the video to make the chat, but for a consumer, for a viewer, you don't need the actual video to be reposted there to get the addition of the thing you're seeing, right? That could just as easily be achieved by, hey, let's all go to this YouTube video and watch it at the same time, right? You don't need to post the actual content to do any of that. It just seems like something very small, very easy to ignore.
Oh yeah, I remember when
Destiny
really fucked up the Twitch plays Pokemon thing.
Sure, okay. And I'm just one other thing as well. I feel like I'm kind of commenting. I'm really not coming at anyone. I'm just trying to put points out there to keep the conversation going. But Jay, one thing I noted, because you were watching obviously my coverage, and I was kind of shitting on XQC for quite a large portion of it. And you seem to enjoy that. And I was just wondering, was there a particular reason you focused on
every time
Hasan,
that link comes up, it highlights it blue
Well,
because my
because
name
I had
is in the link.
because I did have the personal experience with it. I knew that inside and out, and I didn't have to. I knew exactly what happened in that. I knew all the details about it already, and I knew for a fact that he didn't contact me or ask permission or anything like that. Right? If it was another React streamer, I would have to find all of that information out from the perspective. I would have to go and find a YouTuber that they reacted to and ask them all these questions. And I'm like, did you get asked permission? Did they communicate with you? All these things, right? Where when I'm using Hasan as the example of that, I can just flat out say I know all of these things as facts because it happened to me, right? But I did look at including other examples. I did look at including an example from XQC, but that just ended up making the video. That didn't add anything to the video. It was just here's another guy who does the same thing.
Yeah, because I seem to remember there was like this drama about this, amongst the YouTube community. I think Boblax made a video about it and spoke about this phenomenon.
I remember that.
I've got his tweet in my video.
Okay.
XQC responds to it like, this is just you're just
I
saying
remember
React
all
harder or
that.
whatever.
Oh yeah, that was it. And XQC was saying React harder, but then you look
fun.
at his video, and like the video he's watching is 8 minutes long, and his video is 8 minutes 30.
Exactly.
It's so fucking obvious, right?
Yeah.
Like,
That's bad.
Like, what are you even
That's
adding
bad.
about? And then you're uploading
30 seconds of additional runtime to the original video, unless you're really cutting down the original video, cutting a lot out, or only watching like a little bit of it. That's really bad if you're watching through the whole video and it's an 8-minute video and the video is 8 minutes and 30 seconds. You're just reacting to the video. You're just watching the video and then sometimes saying stuff without pausing it or giving any commentary. There's only so much you can say over the video while it's playing.
not onto YouTube. And I think for me, this is an interesting thing, just the final point, I guess, because I know you've got things to do. But like, what are your thoughts? Because obviously watching it on stream is one thing. Do you think it's like worse if like XQC, say, then puts it onto YouTube and reaps the ad revenue from like essentially nothing? Is that worse in your opinion?
I do. Oh, it's right. It's like it's really cheeky to build on YouTube. It is worse, right? Because at least in the format of a stream, it's not clear.
Of transformative content.
A viewer hasn't like gone expecting, right? Oh, I'm gonna see a Mr. Beast video. They're just there for whatever the streamer is doing, happens to be doing at the time, right? Whereas
that's good. That is a good. I wouldn't say it's a bullet to bite, but more so an admission to make where there's a small point that your opposition has. You have to be willing to do that every once in a while to signify that you are acting in good faith and you are genuinely interested in the truth of the matter being discussed. However, yeah, like generally, when you go to a Twitch live stream, you don't know what the fuck's going to happen. Twitch live streams tend to be long, and the title of the stream or whatever notification you get on Twitch isn't always representative of what the actual content of the stream is going to be. So in a lot of cases, it is just a bunch of people there to, go along with Hasan and whatever he's doing. I think where it gets really egregious is when it goes uploaded as a YouTube clip. If you're reacting to something on stream without really adding any content to it and then uploading as a clip on YouTube, that's when it's a problem. Mind you, for anyone who wants to call me out on hypocrisy, we are currently 45 minutes into this video, and we are currently an hour and 22 minutes into the recording. So that's how long I've been covering this. So I've turned a 45-minute long segment so far into an hour and 22 minutes. That's quite a good amount of transformative commentary and transformative content, I would say.
It's on YouTube. The thumbnail is literally like reacting to Mr. Beast do this, and then you click it, and then you just watch the Mr. Beast video. It is exactly worse. I don't know. It's got that element now of, oh, you've attracted viewers who are interested in a Mr. Beast video. You've attracted that audience specifically, and what you've posted is literally just the thing.
Yeah.
No other events. So yeah.
The main concern is that Mr. Beast subscribers may be recommended your reaction to Mr. Beast's new video before they get recommended Mr. Beast's new video, and then you end up watching that streamer's reaction to Mr. Beast's new video instead of his new video, and that streamer reaps the benefit of your view and of your ad revenue and everything, rather than Mr. Beast, who actually made the content to begin with.
Sorry if I'm speaking in circles.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Not the most coherent today, I guess.
No, don't worry about it. Sorry, go on, Denims.
That's like...
Especially with smaller content creators, YouTube has a tendency to amplify the largest uploader when it comes to this, right? So in my case, when I upload this video, my video reacting to this, if it goes up as a video, if Cherry decides to do that, will probably get more views than ChudLogic's video, like the original one. I would hope ChudLogic doesn't take issue with that, one, because we're buds, but also because I think he'd recognize... I think if ChudLogic watched this, I think he'd consider this to be pretty transformative in regards to his, content. I mean, if anything, this is more so Denims and JXC's content than ChudLogic's, but ChudLogic is the one who streamed it and hosted this, so it's by gentleman's agreement terms his, so I don't think he'd take issue with it, and I think he'd agree it's probably transformative enough. Kolodic, thank you for the tier 2 sub, I really appreciate that. Just posted the cat hug emote. I'm glad Cherry didn't get rid of that one, and I know why they didn't. Thank you very much for that. Thank you for the $10. And we are unfortunately only at 224 and getting really close to the end here, so it doesn't look like, once again, you guys are going to miss another day of Sonic Onesie. Don't worry, though, guys. You've been getting close lately. You guys are going to hit it again. Don't worry. I know you guys have it in you. It's just the juicers are juiced out, okay? Once the juicers, like Crafter Lula and whatnot, are like back to 100% power, I'm gonna be back in that Shadow Onesie in no time. Don't you worry, Adante Asai. I see you crying there.
My exact opinion. I think with Twitch, I think that viewers can make an argument, and this is the argument that I've heard, that it's like, okay, well, I don't feel like going through YouTube, but I think if you're already on YouTube, you're already on the YouTube platform, and you see XQC reacts to blah, 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 and XQC is your favorite streamer, and then you see the video right next to it, you're always going to click XQC reacting to it. Yeah. Always. And I think that's fucked up. I think that's really, really fucked up, especially when there's nothing that's been added, like literally nothing that's been added.
Yeah, because sometimes the title is like, they put the title, the name in, and it's like, to me, you see like a 200k views, and it's like, you've stripped that from Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast doesn't, he's million viewer Andy or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
to be fair, Mr. Beast, though he does credit the people he reacts to, and I think his reactions are good, he does do this thing where he titles, in his reaction videos, because he has a React channel, in the titles of his React videos, he titles it what he's reacting to. It's not Mr. Beast reacts to blank blank to like, Mr. Beast, it's not Mr. Beast reacts to hydraulic press crushes watermelon. It's the title of the video is just hydraulic press crushes watermelon. And sometimes maybe Mr. Beast and his friend are in the thumbnail to signify it's a reaction video and not just an original video of that. And then you click it thinking that's what you're going to see, but it's a reaction video. There's an argument to be made in and of itself that is just misleading clickbait content, which, can be morally condemnable on some level if you make the argument. But also that you're misleading people into believing that they're clicking on the original content. And they certainly aren't going to go out of their way to watch the 2-second clips that Mr. Beast is showing of some random people's TikTok of some hydraulic press crushing a watermelon. Why would they go out of their way to watch the original content then? Or hell, even go out of their way to go subscribe to the original YouTube channel when they've seen the watermelon get crushed, the thing that they were interested enough to see in the title and click on. That's all they were really interested in. 99.9% of viewers aren't going to pursue the uploader of the content that made the watermelon crushing video. Their eyes got caught. Their their Zoomer or millennial internet brains got their tiny little dopamine hit, and now they're moving on to the next thing. They don't care enough to go out of their way to pursue whatever channel made that content.
If it's a smaller video, I think it's a lot more egregious because they could really need that, I guess. But yeah.
like 30 seconds of reacting, like that must have been like really juicer content, like really good shit, or it's not, which it definitely is not.
Yeah. Best,
So
the
yeah,
most
just
insightful 30 seconds you've ever seen.
yeah, he like fucking goes on like a tangent about like the universe, dude, and fucking super enlightening. That is definitely like if it's on the same platform and someone is literally already on the platform, like I don't think people recognize how lazy viewers are, like so
How much we got left till the onesie? $76, Coladict.
insanely. Like how many people view your video versus
It's
like
not
how many
worth
people
it
like
now,
it,
though.
even if you
The
ask them
stream's
to.
almost over.
Like even like if something is more than 2 clicks away, people won't do it. Do you know what I mean? Like if you make the more difficult you make something, the less likely people are to do it. Like literally, no matter what. If you make
True.
it like 5 different clicks to sub to someone to sub to a streamer, you would have way less subs. If it was like one button and you get to sub and that's easy, that's great.
One extra button. One extra button and you'd see some level of decrease in sub growth. One extra button in the way. One small, like the smallest of barriers getting in the way of somebody doing something that's voluntary will cause some amount of people to not do that thing.
Great. It's why bits are so
Same thing goes for voter ID. It's not that like black people or whatever can't get ID. It's that most black people in this country are like not exactly in the best financial situation, and so they don't have the time or the resources to necessarily go out of their way to get an ID that they can use for voting so they can do the voluntary action of voting. It's not like you get paid for voting. It's not like a thing you need to do. It's a right that you have, and putting barriers in the way of doing it is going to cause some level of people to just choose not to do it. And in our country, I think it's probably good not to discourage people from voting.
effective. It's like people love to use bits because it's you have to just type them, super easy to play. You know what I mean?
I've gnawed it with fuckbit. Sorry, I joined
Oh,
Twitch yesterday.
it's just like another way to support streamers and donate and whatever. But the more difficult you make something, the less people are likely are to do it. If you already have someone on YouTube, I feel like you've already overcome the biggest hurdle. They're already willing to like watch videos on the platform. Whereas if they're not even on YouTube yet, that's completely different. Not to say that the behavior is acceptable. I am making a completely different argument. I think the behavior is still bad.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Bits is like super chat essentially. That's probably the closest thing it's likened to. But yeah, so we'll start to wrap this up. You mentioned jail. For over to you first. So are you going to be live streaming on Twitch then, or is that the plan?
I am. I have a Twitch
wow.
now. Basically, my internet in my apartment is really like absolute dog shit though. So
Yeah.
I am going to be streaming in very low quality for a while until I move or fix my internet, and then I will be streaming in beautiful, crisp, I don't know, 1080p probably, right?
Oh, yeah.
Of course,
1080p and not a dog shit bit rate. But yeah, I am streaming on Twitch now.
Well, listen. I mean, I can't. You know, you're a much bigger YouTuber than me, but I'm going to flex my clout and link your Twitch channel in my chat. So go and give Jay a follow there.
Excellent. Cheers.
No worries. And Denims. I mean, you know, you're probably a very established streamer. Any kind of shout out you want to do? Anything you got planned? Exciting?
That was a nice debate.
Twitch.tv/Denims.
Okay. Now, as nice of a debate as that was, Exci did come into the chat earlier and say that she got spicy afterwards, apparently in this clip. Don't tell me this is her whole VOD. Oh boy, it's her whole VOD. This is her VOD. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can find the part where the debate happens, and then... Oh, the react to the video. Okay. Okay, so Denim's reaction to Exci's video was apparently a lot spicier.
Good stuff. Link to the original video is in the description.
We're not gonna watch all of it. We're gonna watch a bit.
I don't know why I'd want to click it, because you've already shown me literally all of it, but at least it's there. By reposting someone else's work, you remove it
Let's
from
watch
its
the bit where
original
Hasan comes up.
context.
I need to message like a video essayist that I know and be like, this video essayist is making you guys look bad. Okay, this video essayist does not. They're not sending their best. Denim streams are 60% chat, 30% others content, 10% wormy. Well, what about eating hot chip and lying? Huh?
True.
What about eating hot chip and lying? Are they saying Hasan reacting to videos is exploitation? I don't know. Wait, is that what they're saying? Wait. Oh no, I just realized. No.
Well, actually, you could make the argument that what Hasan is doing is exploitation. Yeah, no, absolutely. If Hasan is playing some random YouTuber's video, and he's monetizing his stream, and he just gets up and walks away, and he's not really contributing anything, you are literally exploiting the work of others. You are literally exploiting the work of others, and that is actually like a good criticism of someone who claims to be a socialist. That's actually, unironically, Jay, good fucking criticism, unironically. Listen, I'll debate Denims on this. It doesn't have to be a spicy one, but I'll talk to Denims about this on stream if she wants to have a conversation about it.
Oh, Lord. Christ almighty. You want to know how you know that this isn't true? You guys want to know? You want to know how you know this isn't true? Because I'm watching the same content and I don't have 40,000 viewers. Okay? It's because the streamer makes the content.
Well, no, so. Wait, no, Denims, no, that's not a fair, you can't, no, wait. I do political content, and Vosh does political content. Yes, more people watch Vosh because I imagine, he's better at debating and stuff like that, and that's where a lot of his prominence has come from. But a lot of it also has to do with being a larger figure online. I'm sure plenty of Vosh's viewers would love my content if they were aware of it. Just like I'm sure plenty of Hasan's viewers would watch Denims' content if they were aware of it, as opposed to Hasan's, perhaps, even. Absolutely. Hey, chat, what percentage of Hasan's, viewers do you think, if Hasan just straight up played a whole Denims stream on his stream, and, I don't know, 100,000 of Hasan's viewers just straight up watched a Denims stream, what percentage do you think of that 100,000 viewers do you think would then think, oh, wow, I like this Denims content, I'm going to go click on her stream and watch it? Probably most, because it's not that the streamer is necessarily what's making the content there, and that's why there's more viewers. It's mostly because Hasan just has the larger audience. He has the larger sub base. More people get notified when Hasan goes live that he's watching Gordon Ramsay than get notified when Denims goes live that she's watching Gordon Ramsay. That is why he has more viewers than her. Okay, it doesn't seem like she was too spicy. I mean, it seems like most of the disagreements that could have been had by watching the video probably got sorted out in the debate. Overall, I think they both acted mostly in good faith, but Denims, Jay, no offense, neither of you are as good at debating as me, okay? I'm sorry, you can't top me, all right? So you want to listen to my advice and take it to heart, okay? I got you. All right. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Liking the video or the stream helps out a lot, and I really do appreciate it. If you want to see more from me here on this lovely hell world platform we call YouTube, consider subscribing, ring the bell icon next to the sub button to turn on all notifications so YouTube actually tells you when I go live or upload a new video. You can also consider following all my social media linked down below in the stream description and the video description, including a link to my fan Discord, my Instagram, my TikTok, my Twitter, as well as a link to my Patreon where you can pledge and get access to exclusive content that I'll be uploading there soon. And you can also just support me financially broadly by donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, pledging on Patreon, as I said before. You can also donate to me through Streamlabs and donate or membership, become a member to me on YouTube. I'm sorry, I've been streaming for a whole, how long I've been live? 5.5 hours. Yeah, I'm a little bit on the tired side. Anyway, no matter how you support me, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and have a good one.